Right, good morning folks. How are we all doing? This is a video with a bit of a mixed bag of things as usual. So I need to pick my prize winner. I want to talk about the phenomenal Pipe Club meeting we had a couple of days ago. And I've picked up a few... So I can pick them up. A few more books for the tobacco library. Big thanks to AD, which I will take you through again in a moment. And yeah, so let's start with the competition. Now, thanks to all of you for entering. There was a lot of names there. A few names, as soon as they were entered, have kind of stuck out and have pretty much been in the running. And I'm not going to tell you who the winner was quite just yet. Talk about some that came pretty close. Now, who was it who put... That's it. Angela's brand new bag, Scarlet Fever. I liked that. A friend of mine runs a brewery, and when he was first started out making beer, one of the first beers that him and a friend made, we ended up calling him Scarlet Fever. Yeah, it was not the nicest of beers. Needless to say, he's improved a hell of a lot, and hopefully I might be back later to do a beer and pipe pairing with some of his beers. So, but anyway, yeah, that was another one. I've avoided all references to Robin Hood. Kind of, you get a bit bored when you live in, and you come from Nottingham, everything's Robin Hood orientated everywhere. So I avoid all Robin Hood, so Will Scarlet would have been the obvious choice for this one, but I like the Scarlet. Red Fox was a pretty good suggestion, but in the end I went with Brad Horn 14's suggestion of Red Lace. For the reasons that I mentioned, I believe I commented on the video, on the reply to this to mention, but it does have a lot of relevance to that tobacco, especially. Nottingham is used to be a lace city, and we do have lots of red brick buildings. The Gauntleys warehouse, where I made the first version of that tobacco, where I shot that video, actually is the basement of an old lace factory and an old red brick building. So the relevance is all there, and I agree. I think Red Lace does sound like a sexy name for a sexy tobacco. So congratulations, Brad. I will be contacting you later to get your address, and we shall get this package off. Now, I'm dreading to think how much this is actually going to cost me, because I've actually filled a shoebox with the prizes. I will have to say that I've removed the glass jar, number one for weight, and number two, well, a glass jar is more than likely going to get broken at some point across the transport network, so I've removed that out of there. So congratulations, Brad. Like I say, I will be getting in touch with you. I may throw in some of the Pipe Club samples which I've got left as well. So that brings me on to the Pipe Club. We had a phenomenal meeting on Monday night just gone. I know Paul tried to do a head count. I attempted one as well, and 40 plus is the best we can come up with. The weather was beautiful. A lot of people there. Ian Walker from Northern Bry came down with some pipes. Good to see some YouTube pipe presenters on here down there, and it was a great night. I didn't do a video yesterday. It was a little bit rough yesterday morning. When the sun's out, the beer drinks too easily, and even if you are on mild, which is generally quite light in alcohol, it's too easy to drink, and you drink way too many of them. So there was some tobaccos on the night that actually blew me away. One of which is what I'm actually smoking now. Having got into pipe smoking through Gauntleys, I'm a little bit of a tobacco snob, if you like. I don't tend to go for your standard big names, supermarket blends, OTC blends as they're called across the pond. But I decided I finally got to try some Players Navy Cut Flake. With how that company's attitude is towards pipe tobaccos in the UK, I didn't particularly expect much from it. Bruno's a nice tobacco, now made by Imperial Tobacco, same people who make Players, blah 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 blah. One day I will do that video, I promise. It could be a bit of a legal minefield. And I like Walnut Flake. Gold Block is foul unless you mix it with Bruno. And I say Players Navy Cut Flake was one of the last ones I've got left to try out of that range. The Three Nuns we get over here is bloody awful. But one thing I will say, like a nice light grassy Virginia. What tastes like a subtle hint of burley in there. It's kind of it's akin to all its golden slicers and Dunhill's light flake, or just flake as it's called now, and tobaccos like that. It's beautiful stuff. Such a nice smoke. If you ever stuck and the only thing you've got option to is your over-the-counter tobaccos, if you like a nice light, fresh, zesty, grassy Virginia, you cannot go wrong with Player's Navy Flake. I'm actually starting to jar this up, so I'm going to stick this away for a while because, like I say, it's phenomenal. A few other smokes on the night that have really stuck with me. I think it was the McClelland spiced Cajun. Jesus Christ, that stuff is awesome. I could smoke that all day long and never smoke anything else. I've got to get hold of some more of that because out of the tin it still has that McClelland almost tomato ketchupy, tomato soupy kind of smell you get with a lot of McClelland tobaccos. You get something very similar with Samuel Gower Virginias as well. They've got kind of a, say, almost like tomato kind of, it's hard to describe really, it's almost like a vegetable sort of aroma to it. But no, that spiced Cajun was, jeez, thank you so much, Eric, for letting me try that. That was a phenomenal tobacco. And then we had some entertainment at the meeting as well. Now, I know AD and a few other people probably shot some footage of this, so they will be uploading it. So, needless to say, all I have to say is Morris dancers, and you'll find out more later when other people upload their videos. So, again, then moving on, I have a collection of tobacco books. Some are quite old and more rare books. This was written in 1926 by C.M. McInnes, and it's the early English tobacco trade. And this kind of has the history of the British tobacco trade and a lot to do with the black market of English tobacco and English grown tobacco and the lengths that were taken to stop the industry before it had a chance to thrive, which it was thriving. I did write an article on this over on my blog, which I'll put a link to in the bottom, but one of these days I'm going to shoot a video about the British Tobacco War and the World Tobacco Wars, involving Duke cigarettes and eventually what did become Imperial Tobacco. But like I say, you need to be careful what I say about these things, so one day I will do these videos. It's a lot of information to put together, and the last thing I want to do is misquote something and end up being done for libel and things like that. So anyway, the books I picked up off AD. Now these are all cigar books. I do have quite a few cigar books. There seems to be a lot more of those around than what there is for tobacco. Marvin Shanken, basically the cigar handbook. I haven't had a massive read of it, but it's got some great information on cigar brands. The book's a little bit older now. A little bit old. It will be a little bit out of date, but it's not the end of the world. It's good to know these things. I can't seem to find when it was printed. When was this edition printed? 1997. So, yep, another cigar book for the collection. The Essential Cigar, a book for the connoisseur. A much smaller book, but again, got the history, the manufacturer, the process, the packaging, a lot of things which I already know, but there's something about being a collector that you just can't stop buying things which you've pretty much already got copies of. I have another Marvin Shenken book, The Art of Cigars, which I haven't actually had a look through yet, but this looks like it's more to do with packaging and ashtrays and advertising, branding, things like that. And another, The World of Cigars. And again, through the history, manufacturer, and a little bit of information on some of the brands, some of the names. But these books are really valuable resources, and there are some I use fairly frequently. I'm not going to take you through my entire book collection, but one of the most important books I find as a retailer is the Min Ron, and it's Illustrated Encyclopedia of Post-Revolution Havana Cigars. This is the Bible for cigar connoisseurs, or Havana connoisseurs and collectors and the likes. This goes through pretty much every release of post-revolution Havana cigars and lists brands that no longer exist, talks about packaging, limited edition humidors, and I find it's an amazing reference book. I mean, I paid £80 for this when it was in print. It's gone out of print now. The new edition, from what I gathered from reading something somewhere not long ago, is being released in a number of volumes, each volume greater than this. So you're looking at a couple of £100 for it, but still, ultimately I will end up picking it up. So yeah, I think that pretty much catches it up for this little bit of a catch-up of a video. I do need to come back to talk about the British Pipe Smoking Championships, which is coming up very soon. We're talking 6-7 weeks away. I haven't actually said anything about this year, and we've got to get the ball rolling. So I will be shooting a video very soon going through the British Pipe Smoking Championships, where to register, how to register, if you want to come along to be a spectator. It's a brilliant day. It's just a great get-together of pipe smokers. Samuel Gareth will be there, Chris Asquith will be there, Ian Walken from Northern Briars will be there, Roberto, I've forgotten his surname, a pipe maker from Barcelona, I believe, is going to be there again. Gauntleys will be there, the Nottingham Pipe Club, the Birmingham Pipe Club. Last year was a brilliant, great day out, everybody just having a good laugh and sharing smokes. It's just a big basic meetup. So I don't know if there's any way we can turn it into a UK YouTube conference as well. If we can try and get as many UK YouTube pipe presenters there, we can all have a bit of a meeting and we can have our own little conference sort of thing at the same time. Our friends across the pond have obviously just had theirs, so the timing's perfect. So yeah, I'll shoot a video on that later. So anyway, enough of me babbling on this morning. Yes, right, okay. That will do it. I'll see you all later. Take care. Goodbye.